Welcome to PROFITIZE training video. In this video, you will learn how to manually enter salary expense in PROFITIZE. Click on the Transactions tab. Click on the Add Transaction button. Click on the Show More button. Click on the Services button. Click on the Salaries, Wages and Fees button. Click on the Receive Service button if you already received service from your employee or contractor. Otherwise, click on the Receive Service Later button. Click on the Partially Paid button if you paid partial salary in advance. Otherwise, click on the Fully Paid button, or Not Paid button, as appropriate. Click on the Fully Paid button if you paid full salary immediately on the date on which the employee or freelancer completed service delivery. Otherwise, click on Not Paid button, or Partially Paid button, as appropriate. Click on the Direct button if the salary or wage can be easily traced to specific products, services, or revenue-generating activities. Otherwise, click on the Indirect button if the salary or wage cannot be directly attributed to specific products or services. Click on the Manufacturing Completed button if the manufacturing process was completed, meaning finished goods were produced. Otherwise, click on the Manufacturing Not Completed button if the manufacturing process was not completed, meaning finished goods are yet to be produced, or click on the Service Delivered to Customer button if your employee or freelancer delivered service to your customer. Now that you have successfully answered all category questions regarding the salary expense, you will need to start entering other details of your transaction in the input fields. Note that input fields with asterisks are required fields, where you must enter data. Required input fields are followed by optional input fields, where you should enter as much data as possible. Click on the Amount Before Tax Deducted at Source by your required input field. Enter, or select from the searchable drop-down list, for example, type 1150, meaning the amount before you deducted any tax at source from the salary or wage. Click on the calendar icon to open the date picker. Click on the left arrow to navigate to the previous month in the date picker if, for example, the service period ended in the previous month. Click on the date June 30th, 2024, in the calendar if, for example, the service period ended on that date. Click on Outside the Calendar to get out of the calendar date picker. Click on the Next button to proceed to the next step. Click on the Amount You Paid Before Delivery required input field. Enter, or select from the searchable drop-down list. Here, for example, type 100 if you paid a partial amount of salary before the end date of the service period. Here, for example, June 30th, 2024. Click on the Tax Deducted at Source by your required input field. Enter, or select from the searchable drop-down list. Here, for example, type 150 if that's the amount of tax you deducted from the salary on behalf of the tax authority. Remember, you will need to pay this amount to the tax authority. Click the Next button to proceed to the next step. Click on the Payee Contact Name required input field. Enter, or select from the searchable drop-down list. Here, for example, select John Doe. Click on the Payee Identification Number optional input field. Enter, or select from the searchable drop-down list. Here, for example, type this number. Click the Next button to proceed to the next step. Click on the Payee Tax Identification Number TIN optional input field. Enter, or select from the searchable drop-down list. Here, for example, type this number. Click on the Contract Number optional input field. Enter, or select from the searchable drop-down list. Here, for example, type this number if you have a contract with the employee or the freelancer, and the contract has a number. Click the Next button to proceed to the next step. Click on the Type of Service optional input field. Enter, or select from the searchable drop-down list. Here, for example, type Cooking. Click on the Name of Bank Debited optional input field if you paid digitally, not with cash. Ignore this field if you paid cash. Enter, or select from the searchable drop-down list, the name of the bank, digital payment provider, or credit or debit card from which you paid digitally. Here, for example, select Bank Y. Ignore this field if you paid cash. Click on the Bank Account Number optional input field if you paid digitally, not with cash. Ignore this field if you paid cash. Enter, or select from the searchable drop-down list. Here, for example, type this number. Ignore this field if you paid cash. Click on the Notes optional input field to enter any additional information or comments. Enter, or select from the searchable drop-down list, your notes. Here, for example, type My Notes. Click on the Upload Docs button to upload supporting documents. Click on the Finish button to complete the transaction. Click on the Transactions tab to view your transaction summaries in the Transactions List View screen. This is the Transactions List View screen. Your most recent transaction summary will appear on the top of the Transactions List View screen. Click on the Customer Business Limited D transaction to view the details of this transaction in the Transactions Page View screen. This is the Transaction Page View screen. Use the right scroll bar to move up and down the Transaction Page View screen to inspect under Details and Management Data. Under Details in Page View, inspect, if you wish, the IFRS journal entries, or debits and credits, automatically generated by PROFITIZE for the transaction you entered. IFRS stands for International Financial Reporting Standards, the global gold standard for financial accounting. Under Management Data Page View, inspect, if you wish, important management information not required by IFRS, but are extremely valuable to provide you data-driven management insights that can help drive your growth and profitability. Click on the Repeat button only if you want to quickly enter a new transaction that has identical journal entries, meaning debits and credits, to this transaction. The Repeat button will let you bypass the category questions and bring you straight to the required and optional input fields. You should only use the Repeat button when you become proficient in using PROFITIZE. If you are new to PROFITIZE, use the Add Transactions button to enter new transactions. In this video, you learned how to manually enter salary expense in PROFITIZE. For more training videos, visit PROFITIZE YouTube channel.